Welcome to Mystery Files, and I just want to say happy holidays, and I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas, or whatever you celebrate. Happy Hanukkah, happy everything, happy holidays. Now, you know, my Friday story, I said Saturday, but I'm doing it Friday for this reason. Are you ready? I said get it up to 55 likes, my last story, and I'll bring you 2. Get it up to 100 likes, and I'll do 3. But it's the holiday season, and as I just checked, the last story's coming up quick. We're at 54, so we're only 1 shy, so I'll let it slide. Alright, I'll let it slide, and that means 2 stories. 1 today, and then 1 on Sunday on actual Christmas Eve. And most exciting of all, I'm going to do my first live stream telling you guys yet another story on Christmas Eve. So on Christmas Eve, you will have an upload that might have 1 or 2 Christmas stories in it, and then I will be telling my first story live in front of you guys, and you get to sit there and you get to type and comment and judge me in real time. That should be fun. But seriously, I am looking forward to it. I am a little bit nervous because I have never gone live, but whatever happens, happens, and I'm just gonna try to make it happen for you guys. But today, the theme of Christmas shall continue, and I got some good stories for you. So if you haven't already, please click that like button right now, and let's get this up to a nice Christmas, 70 likes. Can we do it? I think we can do it. Either way, as of now, it's time to slip into a mind that's not our own. Let's go. It was supposed to be the height of the festive shopping season at Clackamas Town Center Mall. You could hear the Christmas tunes were piped through the speakers, and kids posed for photos with Santa, and hordes hauled bags brimming with gifts and goodies. This suburban Portland hub was a haven of holiday cheer and capitalist splurge, until, that is, a lone gunman turned this spot into a kill zone. The first pops and screams were heard around 3:30 p.m. near the mall's center atrium. Shoppers enjoying post-purchase snacks in the food court stopped mid-bite at the nightmare sight that was emerging. And that's when this tall, masked man, moving with frightening purpose, brandished a loaded AR-15.
Everybody get on the ground. This is for real.
The shooter shouted as he unleashed a barrage of bullets toward defenseless families and teens. Scores of them dropped to the tiles, bleeding, and others took off sprinting. The parents just would grab their children and make desperate dashes to any exit in reach. And store employees literally hit the deck, or some of them scrambled to throw security gates down. In just minutes, the entire mall devolved into sheer pandemonium. This gunman fired ceaselessly and seemingly at random into kiosks and storefronts, any unlucky person trapped within his line of vision. And as victims were just scattering through the corridors, some limping with these gruesome wounds, many were trapped by his position that was near the exits. So EMTs and SWAT swarmed forward towards the panic seas of screams echoing across the cavernous halls piled high with once cheery decorations now lit by nothing but muzzle flashes. You see, one of the gunman's first targets was Cindy Yuli, a hospice nurse and a mother of 2 teens. They were just completing some holiday shopping that fatal afternoon. Struck head-on by one of the initial bullets, she fell prone and motionless as the killer continued his rampage. Her bags were strewn around her. 15-year-old Christina Shevchenko was also gunned down within the first barrage, collapsing to the floor, with a brutal shotgun wound tearing into her side before crawling behind a kiosk for cover. And rushing through the mall, Kendra Nguyen cowered in the storage closet of her JCPenney's optometry office. These shots sounded like thunderous bolts that were right outside of these thin walls. The gunman then stalked closer, firing relentlessly through these flimsy little doors before stalking right back out, leaving 20 bullet holes framing Kendra where she stood frozen. And after 10 full minutes of unleashing carnage unchecked, the shooter finally disappeared from the main corridors, retreating to a service stairwell. The distant wail of sirens assured terrified survivors that help was on its way and it was coming. But so too was the threat still lurking somewhere inside, and it could be beside them. The crackdown came fast from the SWAT teams, flooding into the wounded shopping epicenter, clearing it wing by wing with P90 machine guns ready against any sight of the masked mass murderer. Across the shelter-in-place emergency, his chilling disguise stayed seared into the survivors' minds. Head-to-toe body armor, draped in weapon ammo, full tactical gloves and boots. The dark hockey mask, just like Jason, revealing nothing but his cruel eyes. And he was wearing this nightmare attire for spreading holiday horror that no camera could pinpoint. And while police expected a drawn-out search of the two-story, 1.4 million square foot retail battleground, the killer's corpse was ultimately discovered only one floor up from the same stairwell that he retreated through minutes earlier. Positioned sitting propped against the wall, as if kind of relaxing, the shooter had opted to take his own life, with a brutal shot once his ammunition was spent. A final fatal round, after leaving scattered dozens dead, wounded, and emotionally ruined across the suburban sanctuary he violated on Christmas week. Grim details filled out this picture of premeditated violence and scripted carnage in the ensuing weeks. Searches of the 22-year-old shooter, Jacob Tyler Roberts, turned up thorough tactical plans for maximum violence that day using the AR-15 and stolen pistols, aiming for a large crowd in a confined space, quote, ripe for mass murder. Now, a dungeon of spare ammo and homemade explosives found back in his discreet apartment chilled investigators even further. Roberts had come fully prepared, even wearing a Load Plus T bullet vest during his rush to inflict suffering before taking his own life. And in the aftermath, 58 panicked 911 calls were made that flooded in that day. In those paralyzing 10 minutes, he traded shots with screams. 10,000 terrified holiday shoppers went bolting out of any exit that they could find once the chaos ignited. Nearby suburb streets swelled into these log jams as parents rushed the scene, propelled by that innate call that their child might be bleeding out somewhere among the seasonal greetings and gift wrap carnage. 70 police units would swarm through until nightfall. For the hundreds that barely escaped Robert's onslaught, the memories and trauma burrowed deeper every Christmas since. The center forever stained by sudden violence ripping open what should have stayed a sacred haven. So, just for everybody that thinks they might be having a bad Christmas, I want you to realize the pain and the trauma that these people, their parents, their sons, their grandparents, their children, everybody went through. The mourning that took place after, and the voids in their hearts that'll never be filled again. So if you are down and out and you are having a bad Christmas or a bad week or a bad month or a bad year, just know that you can always come to this channel and I will try to entertain you the best I can. And if I can't cut it for you, then please seek help. I don't think you should be on therapy for 100 years. I just think maybe talk to somebody. And if they listen and you get your things off your chest, maybe that'll be your first step to healing. Because I truly do wish you a blessed holiday season.